Hello, everyone. Today's guest is someone I've been wanting to talk for a while because she works on something that many professionals know they should be doing, but still feel a little bit uncomfortable about, which is building a personal brand online. María is a personal branding consultant based in Berlin. She helps founders and marketers build personal brands that attract opportunities, clients, and collaborations, mainly through LinkedIn. She's also an Ocean ambassador, a digital marketer, and a founder of a community for solopreneurs in Berlin. What I found really interesting about Maria's work is that she approaches personal branding less as posting content for vanity metrics and more as building systems that actually generate opportunities. So today we are going to talk about personal branding, why LinkedIn makes so many people cringe, how professionals can use it without feeling fake, and also about tools and systems like Notion that can make all of this much easier. So welcome, Maria. Happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. That was a great introduction. I think you mentioned everything that I am, which is very hard to do because I always struggle with introducing myself. It's a lot of different things, but yeah, mostly my work is in personal branding, consulting, solopreneurs and founders, and building my solopreneur community because I love bringing people together and helping each other.
And you studied something completely different.
In my bachelor's, I studied musicology and Russian literature, and then I switched after that to marketing and have a master's in marketing now. Yeah,
Such a switch, right? Did you work
it
in musicology at all?
right now I'm at a co-working space, and outside is a Philharmonic
Ah.
Hall of Berlin, and I used to work in this building. It's crazy.
Really?
Yes, I used to like talk to people about the orchestra in Berlin, and then just like consulting about like music and concerts. But other than that, I worked for a music app, sheet music
Oh.
app, but in marketing. So that was my transition from music to marketing, and then I decided to do the masters.
It happens a lot of times that you start a career and then the switch is with something related to that. It happened to me as well. Some people, they don't see the connection, but it's much easier than it looks like.
Yeah. A lot of people, if they're thinking about switching career paths, like try to find a link between two jobs, and then you can transition quite smoothly, I think.
And with the transferable skills, in the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And how did you get into personal branding in the first place?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I feel like I got into LinkedIn and personal branding like most people. So you look for a job and then you're like, wait, LinkedIn is a good place to be, I guess, to find a job. And then I started like looking and applying, and then everyone was telling me, maybe you should like post. I was hearing like maybe I should post like something on LinkedIn. And so I started posting kind of while I finished my master's, and then I was looking for a job in marketing. And so I was like, okay, I should post something. So I started posting what I was learning, what I learned in my master's while I was writing my thesis, kind of like documenting kind of what I'm learning. And that's how I started. And then at like 700, 800 followers, I got my job. It was like, only like 2 months or something I applied. And then I got this job. And I was the first and only marketer at the design agency called María. And from there, I started kind of growing my account because LinkedIn was a key channel for the agency to get clients as well. Like LinkedIn for B2B, of course, super relevant. Founders, marketers are on LinkedIn. So we decided we're going to focus on personal branding in the company as well. And so I grew my account while at Magyar, while working. Yeah, full time.
And it grew. It really grew.
It grew. Yeah, from 700 when I started to I think 17,000 or 18,000 when I left the company, when I quit my job, because I got so many cool opportunities. We can talk about that.
And as of today, I think you have around 35K.
Yeah,
Am I right?
35. Yeah,
It's
so
impressive.
2 years, I think, for this journey until now.
And do you want to talk a little bit about the opportunities?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so I was working full time. I really liked my job, actually. It was flexible, remote friendly. People are amazing at Magyar. So, I highly recommend looking at them if you're looking for a job. But it's just that, some opportunities where like brands started reaching out, asking if they can sponsor some of my posts. Then I got some like consultation requests. I didn't even consider myself like a personal branding focused person. I was just a marketer, content marketer, like all rounder generalist. And people started coming to me like, oh, you grew so much on LinkedIn. How do you do it? How do you structure your content? How do you plan your content? I was like, I work full time, so I don't have time for this, but maybe I should make time for this. And that's when I decided maybe I should. I always loved content creation, always loved community building, being an Ocean ambassador, organizing events. But I was doing it all for free, just like for fun. And then I was like, maybe I should try making it a thing and saying yes to more opportunities that come my way. Like it felt Like I was saying no to a lot of things that could be really fun just because I have a job.
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
Yeah, it was natural. It felt natural. It's still a big decision to
Yeah, of course.
decide to quit your job, but I was confident kind of that I will make it work somehow with having an audience, having, some opportunities already come in. I was like, if I work, 50 hours for someone, imagine working for myself for 50 hours, actually like doing things
Yeah,
that
you
would have
can be
impacted my life.
creative and
Yeah.
you have the freedom, right? Like the creativity
Yeah.
freedom to do whatever
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Mm,
Comes with its downsides, you have to be
of
very
course.
disciplined, which, for example, the past month I've been more chilling. Like I have been working. I have been working. I have been doing things, but also, like, for example, like I love working for myself. I'm also going through a breakup right now. And I'm like, yeah, I can take time for myself. I can relax. I can travel.
Yeah.
I don't have to take vacation days because I don't have to tell anyone I need vacation days.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of benefits, but also, of course, you need the discipline to work on your own things and
Yeah.
dreams and content, overcome your beliefs, limiting beliefs.
Of course, and it's a job, right? Like it's some people see content creation like a hobby, and we also have these preconceptions. And why do you think personal branding has become so important for professionals today?
Well, I think people are noticing that there is obviously a lot of competition when applying to jobs, when trying to get an opportunity. Everyone is, applying for the same things. For one job, it might be like 1,000 applicants. How do you stand out, right? And I feel like the more you show up online, the more people trust you because they understand who you are. Even before you apply for something, they already see you, or
Yeah,
they have an image of you, which really helps you stand out if you're applying. Instead of waiting for opportunities, you can create opportunities. So I feel like personal branding can be, in my case, that definitely is true, like an opportunities and like engine. That's what I call it, an
Hmm.
opportunities engine, because you post, you literally document your life, you post, you share your lessons, you're more visible publicly, and opportunities come to you instead of you chasing them. It's like, yeah, you're living your active life and you're getting amazing people to join your life rather than chasing
Just
people
waiting. Yeah,
yourself or waiting for something to happen. So you're creating your dream life, kind of. You can create your dream life by documenting and putting yourself out there more, which is intimidating, and we can talk about that.
of course. Yeah.
But it's definitely worth it, and people are noticing that you will stand out more, you get more opportunities, you get more chances if you're visible.
That's really interesting because it's like from what I get from your words, it's like instead of being passive or reactive, you are kind of proactive,
Yes, yes,
kind
yes.
of.
I encourage more and more people to, even while working full time, like to create your future, basically, work on your
Yeah.
future long term. It's like, you're going to the gym. You're not going to see results tomorrow, but you're going to see results if you put in work consistently and if you work.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you
compound
can,
interest.
yes.
Like
Also investing. Same thing.
also investing, important.
We talked
And
about this last time. Yeah.
yes, so from what you say, I get that it's important also for people working in traditional and corporate jobs, not only for founders or for entrepreneurs, because that's the image, right? If
Yeah.
you need to grow your business, then you go to LinkedIn and you start posting. But if you have a corporate job, you just edit it a little bit and yeah, and then you wait.
Yeah, I agree. I think building a personal brand while employed is like the best thing you can do because, again, you're building your future, you're creating opportunities for your future, and you're creating options for yourself. Like rather than relying on one employer, if you get laid off, like when I quit my job, I knew even if like solopreneurship doesn't work, I have an audience, I have a personal brand, and I can apply it to other jobs, and I will have better chances of getting the job. I even got some job
For sure.
offers when I
Really?
quit, and I announced that I quit. Yeah, and I was like, no, 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 I'm doing my thing, but thank you. It's good to know that I'm, desirable in the job market. I think entrepreneurial people in general are very desirable in the job market because like they're doers and they,
Yes,
are determined to reach their goals. And I think those are great qualities that
of
people
course.
look for. But while working 9 to 5, yeah, I think as a if you're working 9 to 5, you can also like it's a win-win for the company and for you to build your personal brand, and communicating that with your founder manager
Yeah.
can be very helpful and important. Just telling them, I'm down to like post sometimes about our new joiners, about colleagues, about life at the company and how great you're treating me. And I'll also post about, of course, my own learning and lessons, and through that the company gets visibility, the company gets better employees and better applicants.
It's a
The
win-win.
culture, yeah, it's a win-win. So that's what I try to also highlight a lot. But for example, I was planning an online course for marketers working full
Oh.
time who want to build a personal brand. So kind of like me, I was thinking about what would have helped me, and I was like, okay, I would teach myself how to build a personal brand while working for a company so that I can eventually, create my opportunities. But I noticed that it's true that for people working 9 to 5, personal branding just doesn't feel urgent. It doesn't feel
Mm,
like they should work on it right now. Again, it's like long-term thinking. It's like going to the gym. It's like it doesn't feel you're not gonna be thinking about your back pain when you're 80 years
of
old,
course.
when you're
Yeah.
20 years old. Most people don't, even though they should maybe a little bit.
Yes.
It will come. So yeah, so that's I try to sell kind of to this audience of marketers working full time, and I noticed that it's tricky because people really don't feel this urgency, even if the marketers should.
Mm,
They're like, I have a job, I'm safe.
yeah.
Which
Yeah.
think
Are
about
you?
it. Are you? Think
I'm
about
like,
it.
yeah. And I see people don't feel comfortable sometimes posting online. There is a lot of cringe or LinkedIn cringe when they think about posting online. Why do you think that
Yeah.
is?
Hmm. I think it's because we think about how we are going to be perceived. We don't think enough about the value we provide in the post, and we focus too much on what people will think about us posting in general.
Mm,
Like I'm also people tell me I don't want to share any private stuff on LinkedIn. Like it feels
mm,
wrong. People are not interested in my private life. Why would I even post about these like stories? Like why would I do storytelling on LinkedIn? Doesn't make sense. Like people are here to learn and look for jobs. But what I tell them is like if you scroll your LinkedIn, what are the posts that you naturally engage with? What are the posts that are valuable to you? Are they only these like tutorial how to write a blog posts, or are they more like storytelling, 5 lessons I made while growing this company? 2 things I focused on that were completely wrong when I started as a solopreneur and what I learned from them. Like it's storytelling is always involved in those like engaging posts that are actually valuable because they're based on your experience.
yeah.
So, like experience based content, storytelling is super important. And if you think about like, okay, so why do people feel cringe? They feel cringe because they're like, oh, but I post these posts like tutorials and nobody cares. And what will people even think about me trying to be an influencer? But why don't you just focus on documenting your journey, on sharing your lessons and mistakes that might be valuable to someone else, right? So you're
Yeah.
providing value through stories, through experiences. You're not just posting for the sake of it. I feel like as soon as you understand there is a goal to this post,
Mm,
like it's provide value, it's inspire, educate, engage, motivate someone. The value is not always learning 5 tips. It's
yeah.
also you can inspire someone. You can make someone laugh. It's also valuable.
True.
You can motivate them. Like I post about I don't know how to set goals. It's to motivate. People are motivated. They're inspired. That's great. That's valuable.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm
Yeah.
sure. And also, we naturally remember stories, right? Like instead of the 5 tips to whatever,
Yeah.
you won't
Yeah.
remember them at all. Like it's impossible to remember them. But if someone tells your story,
Exactly.
you will remember it.
Yes. And people want to work with people they like and they trust. And that storytelling also contributes to that. You show your personality, you show your values. And that's why I think like the personal, like experience-based content is becoming even more important now because ChatGPT can tell me how to write a blog post. It can tell me
Of course.
how to clean up an Excel sheet. But if you tell me how you did it, it's different. Like how
Yeah.
you did it, what challenges you faced, you're a person, and I'll come to you for more questions if I have more questions. It feels much more natural, much more valuable.
More focus on humans, right? Presence, community, everything that it's like real. Okay, I see a
Yes.
person behind it, right?
So much content nowadays, so much generic content,
Yeah.
more content than ever. So if you can stand out by being human, being yourself, being more genuine, yeah, I think literally the best thing you can do is like be genuine, be yourself. Don't try to force something you're not. And I think honestly, if every person leans into who they truly are and how they truly want to communicate, instead of trying to fit into like a mold of writing the perfect LinkedIn post, and that's limiting your creativity. That's limiting the potential of your content as well. But it's hard to stop boxing yourself in.
I know. Yeah, it's a mindset. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a mind shift as well. And if you think of someone who wanted to start building a presence today, what would be the first thing you would tell them to focus on?
Building a presence today, like work, regardless of like 9 to 5 work or
Yeah,
solopreneur.
regardless. Like they don't use LinkedIn because they only use it when they need to find a job or whatever. And yeah,
Yeah.
they never post anything. And they
Okay.
want to start like building their career like more
Yeah.
proactively.
Okay. I would suggest, of course, I mean, after optimizing your profile, so adding a picture, like all of that stuff, like adding a description and so that people know when they land on your profile who you are and what you stand for. That is out of the
That's
way.
the basics,
After
right?
that, that's the basics. After that, I would say just focus on documenting your journey, which and writing the way you speak. So that's like the two things I recommend everyone do to start with. So, for example, every week you can reflect, are there any tools I've used that have helped me on like this week a lot? Like for example, I've been using like this tool called Whisper Flow, voice to text. So you can just,
Okay.
instead of writing, you can just press a button and you can speak to your laptop and it will write it down everywhere
Oh,
you are,
nice.
which is quite nice.
Yeah.
Not sponsored, nothing,
No.
but like I really like this tool. So you can just talk about it. Like this tool helps me with this. You should try it out. This is like the easiest way to start, just reflecting on your life. What are some mistakes I made this week? What or this month? What are some lessons I've learned this week? Is there a course I'm taking that like in something like I had some breakthroughs? Maybe I can share it with others. Like just start documenting. Is there a new colleague I started working with that I really enjoy working with? And what makes them so great? Write a post about them, like highlight them if they are impacting your life. Anything that's impacting your life, you can talk about it because it's valuable to others, because people want to live a life that is fulfilling to them, and they get
Yeah.
inspired by other people. It's very valuable. Maybe you also learn to do something. You can share a screen recording of you doing it and how to do it, like so it's keep it super simple to start. Just document. Don't try to be perfect. Every people hate perfect. Be yourself. You don't need to know it all. I mean, I know when I started on LinkedIn, I was like, oh, but I'm young. I'm a young woman.
Huh?
And there's so many like LinkedIn bros, 60-year-old white dudes. Like, do I fit in? Will they think I'm stupid? But then you learn, even being one step ahead of someone else gives you an advantage. You can teach them, and they will. It's much easier to teach. Like it's much better to just teach someone who is like 2 steps behind. You can't even use the language they're using. Like if you're 20 steps ahead, it's good to learn as you learn, and people will learn from you. So. Then the cringy part starts when you're trying to sell and try to post content that doesn't feel like you, and you try
Mm.
to use LinkedIn speak, and
Or showing
it's
off, but
or
for the
show
sake
off
of
for the
showing
sake.
off.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
just posting, oh, I just reached this milestone. Haha. No,
Yeah.
you cannot
It's not
just post
you.
that. It's not you, and it feels you wouldn't say it in a conversation with someone like I mean, maybe you would share the good news, sure. But if you're posting a LinkedIn post about, I don't know, you reached your a revenue goal or something, share what helps you get there.
Yeah.
Just share additional value. That's always a good guideline for to keep in mind. Like, don't just say we just raised 20 million. Say we raised 20 millions, and here are 5 things that helped us get this funding round, so that other companies can be like, oh, I'll think about that next time I fundraise. You know.
And also for me, it was like I'm not that active on LinkedIn, but for me, the difficult part was that
Mhm.
I really value like home office, remote work, like everything
Yeah.
that is more Gen Z's than millennial. And I was in this kind of limbo, in the middle where I wanted to share my opinions and everything
Mhm.
related to that, but also like I was
Sure.
working for a company, so I couldn't because this company was hybrid. And then I
Ah,
was like, it's like, I want to share so much. I know this is important. I know we should go remote whenever it's possible. I love flexibility. Like, really, I hate
yeah.
offices. It's like, it's a hate relationship. And I couldn't, like, I couldn't be myself because I couldn't speak about it. So now that I'm working for my own company, I feel a little bit more free. I can speak about it. I can,
Yeah.
yeah, post whatever I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, that's very tricky when you're working for a company that doesn't align with your vision, with your values. I think, I guess my first step up from that is like, if you notice that, is to, of course, try to apply to a job that at least a job, if you're looking for like a job that is closer to what you're looking for. Because, for example, in my experience, the job I had like was remote, great people, lovely team. So I already was very close to solopreneurship in a
Yeah.
way. I still had a team, I still had founders and everything, but it felt like I had a lot of trust, a lot of responsibility. So it
Mm.
felt very close to it. And I think if you're thinking of going into the solopreneurship, entrepreneurship direction, then finding a job that gives you a lot of agency, that gives you a lot of
Yeah.
trust and responsibility, and where you can live kind of close to a solopreneur lifestyle, but on a salary, is a
Yeah.
good idea. But yeah, I know some people tell me like, my boss doesn't want me to post on LinkedIn. My
Mm.
manager hates LinkedIn and they think it's performative and it's not gonna bring anything. Then I tell them first they should come to me, like, because I will
Yeah.
talk to their founder and I will tell them what I think. And second, and I will show them some examples because their perception is wrong mostly. And
Yeah.
if you're a B2B company, probably your clients are on LinkedIn. If you're
Probably. Yeah.
targeting founders, marketers, and there's a lot of potential. Yeah, second, look for a better job, a more supportive manager. Just, of course, first talk to them, explain
Yeah.
your situation, say they can, look at Maria, look at my gear, it's working for them. Maybe we should try it. Like, be more open-minded. Try to make them more open-minded. And if they're not, you need to plan your escape.
And one thing you talk a lot is about building systems behind your content.
Yeah.
And why do you think that's important?
Well, why are systems important? I think because if you don't have a system, you're just posting for the sake of posting, and you're kind of like, there's no goals involved. It's a bit doing it on the side. Like, it's very important, I think, to set OKRs and
Mm?
KPIs and have like a recurring kind of framework you can use to create content with. Like, for example, I teach that. It's like a LinkedIn strategy that works for most founders, which is a TOFO, MOFO, BOFO strategy. So like 3 post a week framework.
Yeah.
That like one post should be targeted like with the goal of attracting new people to your account. One post should be with the goal of nurturing those people and educating and building trust. And one post should be more promotional, more like saying how you
Sales.
can
Yeah.
help people. Yeah, because if you don't say to people how you can help, they will never know. Like,
Yeah.
literally.
Of course.
And most people are too lazy to like research you. You have to
Yes.
tell them first that they even know that you can help them, right? And then they will research you maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I follow kind of this framework, and it already makes posting so much easier because every week you're like, okay, I need this type of post, this type of post, and this type of post. And
Yeah.
I have, for example, these examples of posts, these examples, and these examples. I can recreate a lot of templates or hooks, not reinventing the wheel. Yeah,
Yeah.
having a checklist. I have even like a resource I can share also, which is like a post publishing checklist. So before every post goes live, you can just check, did I actually follow best practices? Do I have a strong hook? Does the post have a CTA? And am I like, what is the goal of the post? Is it following the strategy? Like, just like checking in on those things, it's gonna
Hmm.
free up a lot of mental space. And also it will help you take action, I think, having systems. Because,
Hmm.
for example, with Instagram, I don't have a system and I don't post because it's just overwhelming. Like, and I don't have the
Yeah.
time for it right now. It's not a priority, obviously. But if
Yes.
I had a super clear system, like someone told me, you have to post 2 times a week. One post is this about this, and the second post is about this, and you can record it in an hour. Like, of course, I'm more prone to actually
Of
doing the
course.
work than if
Yeah.
it's like, oh, 100 video ideas and I don't know where even to start and how long the editing will take. And so many questions come up. But if I know what tools I'm using, what is the exact workflow, what are the posts I should be posting and why, and you have a system where you store the content ideas, like I use Notion. We can talk about
Yes.
Notion. I have
We will
Notion for
talk about
content
it as well.
ideas. Yes, then it becomes much easier. Like, the overwhelm becomes much less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there is so much noise as well. And you start comparing yourself if you don't have a system or whatever. And then you start looking at other creators and you say, okay, I'm not enough.
Yeah, yeah. Should I post? Should I not? Is another one. And of course, no one is perfect. I mean, you also have great systems. I'm sure I have great systems, and they do work. But some days, also some weeks, you're just demotivated, and it's
Yeah,
fine. And it's like it's an up and flowing journey. We're all human. We have bad days. We might have a content planning day planned, but we don't do it because we just prioritize other things. And life is
of course.
about being flexible. That's why we're building this businesses to
Yeah.
have
To,
flexibility and time
yeah.
freedom, and it's okay. But having a system means you can come back to the system and schedule content out in advance, and have more freedom if you want to travel, like stuff like that. Like it really helps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it helps a lot. Like having a flexible plan. It's not rigid. It's
Yes.
also like what I teach people when they ask me about how to build like a business or a solopreneur business, and I always tell them you have to have a routine for your minimum and
Yeah.
for ideal. So you're not
Yes.
gonna have energy every day. So what is your minimum? Okay,
Yes.
posting maybe 3 times per week. Then if you
Yes.
have an ideal week, then it's maybe five.
Like I said, like this past month, for example, I was doing the minimum. Minimum for me, it's like also like posting, maybe 3 to 5 times a week, and I can schedule those posts so I don't scramble every time, especially if I feel
Yeah,
like my brain space is low, or I can repurpose some posts. Like that's a
true.
great thing to do if you're low on energy, low on time. Just there is some that I post mostly 7 times a week, so I have so much content. Not
Yeah,
everyone has seen all of that content, so I can just post it again if it's good,
yeah.
right? And
And
I've done
nobody's
it
paying
multiple times.
attention to us
No,
like that
no,
much. Like
no, no, no,
like
no.
good
I
creators, they always repurpose.
Yes, they repurpose, and it makes so much sense because
Yeah.
if a post is good, why only give it one chance? You can post it again. Like it's valuable, right? Systems are great.
And you are also a Notion ambassador. I use Notion. I love it. Like I've been using it
Yay.
for, I don't know, 4 years, 3 years. And how did that relationship start for you?
I mean, Notion I've been using for so long since university days. My bachelor's, I think I was
Wow.
planning my thesis in it. Yeah, it was a long journey, and now it's like it's become my daily, of course, companion. Like for my meeting notes, for my tasks, all of my projects, all of my client deliverables. But how I became a Notion ambassador is actually I went to an event in Berlin. And I met some Notion ambassadors were there, and I
Mm,
talked to them, and I showed them my Notion setup, and they were like, "Wow, you're so like you have it all figured out. Why
yeah.
aren't you an ocean ambassador?" And I was like, "Oh, can I be?" And then one of them referred me, and then I applied, and I got in. So basically, if you create content, if you want to host meetups and events, or if you just have an audience and you talk about
Hmm.
Notion, create templates.
Even
You can
landing
choose.
pages. You don't want to build a landing page and then you just post the link there and all the instructions and then you send it to people. And
Use it for so many things. So yeah, I became a Notion ambassador and I hosted some events
nice.
in Berlin, and it's just really wholesome to the Notion people are the best. Like Notion community
Yeah.
is the best. Everyone is so kind. If you ever see like a Notion event, definitely go. People are so
Okay.
nerdy and
Good.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and also I remember that you were also creating events for cleaning your Notion. That was so
Yes.
interesting because Notion sometimes gets a little bit chaotic,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. The fact that you can create so much means you always have so many pages, and it can explode if you don't take time to actually remove and archive, improve your setup.
And how do you personally use Notion in your work for LinkedIn, for example?
Yeah. Well, for everything, I use it like for, of course, like to manage my whole business. But for example, one tip I have for you, if you haven't done it yet, is having tasks and meetings in one database. Just like
Okay.
one random fact, because a meeting is also a task, right? I have to prepare for
Hmm.
this meeting. I have to prepare for a task. Like it's all the same. So I used to
Yeah.
have two separate ones, but now I have one, and it's so much better. Gosh, so
Okay.
much better.
Nice.
But how I use it as well is like I told you, like I have this tofu mofu bofu content
Yes.
system, right? So for example, I have a section, I have a content dashboard in Notion. There's also a template I can share like for LinkedIn planning, content planning, and I have a section there with charts and everything, like how much of each content type am I posting per month, so I can see at a glance if I'm on the right
Hmm.
track, if I'm overdoing some content and underselling, for example,
Yeah.
under promoting, or if I'm sharing too much, too many lessons and not enough, I don't know, lead magnets or
Yeah.
something like that. So I can see that at a glance. I track. Yeah, I see how much I'm
Everything.
posting. I have all my drafts. I have custom agents. They have now custom agents in Notion, so you can build
Oh,
like a custom GPT kind of
really?
custom AI
Yeah, yeah.
assistant. Yeah, I use Notion AI a lot. I record my
Okay.
meetings with Notion AI, and I can create agents now. We can create agents now. Basically, a LinkedIn content writer I have where I can say I had a meeting today, and I want to post about the free lessons I shared in this meeting, and the LinkedIn agent can write these posts for me, draft
Wow.
them, and I can finalize them. Yeah, this is great. You should explore Notion AI for sure if
Yes.
you haven't yet. You can build even like custom agents that like read your emails and prepare for calls, like help you prepare for calls. It can do like Notion AI can do online research and
Oh.
everything. So you can use Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, all within Notion AI. They've been updating and upgrading and like adding so many features, but this one is really, really cool and worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super nice. For me, I use it a lot when I take programs or courses, like when I'm learning.
Oh yeah.
Instead of course, I take notes, but
Yeah.
also I take screenshots when there is like a
Yeah.
presentation, like screenshot, Notion screenshot. And I have
Yeah.
like all my learning documents, like in different kind of categories. What is the course about? Is it marketing? Is it whatever, sales? And then I put all the screenshots there, and it's easier to come back. I use it for everything, for the podcast. Yeah, everything. The table with the episodes, the content that I'm going to share related to those episodes. It's
Ooh.
really nice. Like, I love Notion, really.
Notion can be so many things. I also use it. I used to have a podcast for a bit. I really admire what you do
Oh,
because it's a lot of work. And being a good interviewer is hard. You're an amazing interviewer. So thank you for having me again. But
thank
yeah,
you.
and to have planning the episodes is also so much work. And I also had it in Notion, and it really simplifies a lot of things. You have to think about a lot of things.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Tools can save us so much time. And also with Notion, like for example, after every call, a consultation call, Notion gives me a summary, like a written summary of the call with action items and the transcript. And I can just share this page with the person I had a consultation with, saving so much time writing down a summary of our call and like all of these things with
Yeah,
AI. You
taking
can do.
notes, it's in the past. Never
Yeah,
again.
it's
Yeah.
in the past. I
In it.
feel you. There is a lot of FOMO as well with all
Yeah.
the no new tools coming out and new like hyped up concepts and like
Yeah.
now AI can control your laptop. So learning how to do
Yes.
that. Do you want to give it access to it? Like I'm also so behind. I need
Yeah.
to step up my game, but it's like so many things at once.
Yeah, I'm taking a master's in AI because
Oh,
I want to learn. Yeah, it's so hard to keep track on everything. And you mentioned
yeah.
lead magnets. Do you use any automation tool? Because I don't know if ManyChat
Mm.
is on LinkedIn. I use ManyChat a lot.
Did you use ManyChat? There is an alternative for LinkedIn, which is called Lead Shark. Lead Shark.
Okay, we will share the
And
link.
I can send a link. But yeah, it's also built by a really cool solopreneur, Oscar. He's really cool.
Nice.
I recommend his tool a lot. I use it for all of my LinkedIn automations, like all of my posts. When someone comments a keyword, like the tool automatically checks if they're connected to you, and if they have commented the right keyword, it replies to the comment. Like ManyChat.
Yeah.
Very similar. I can send a follow-up message like after sending the link.
Yeah, collect the email,
Calling
whatever.
the email, yeah, it's so nice. And I remember the time when I discovered lead magnets
Yeah.
at Magyar while I was doing my job, and we found it's a great way to grow accounts,
Yeah.
like sharing free resources, free value. You know how it is. And I was manually responding to all
Oh my
comments.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, a moment of silence for my time wasted because it was like 20 hours a week of just replying.
No, yeah, I
And
can imagine. Also, people get like stressed because you're not replying instantly because now
yes,
we got used to it.
yes.
Like,
Yes, it
yeah.
was like, I mean, on LinkedIn, it was early days. There were not, I think, no automation tools back in the day for that, at least
Okay.
not that I knew. And so we were just like replying manually, and I was replying, I didn't want to give access to my account to anyone because
Yeah.
I feel weird doing that. So I don't do that. And I was replying manually to like 500 comments, 600
Oh my
comments
God.
sometimes. And LinkedIn would block me. It would tell me, "Are you
Oh,
using automation tools?" And I'm like, "No, I
spam.
wish, I
I
wish I was
wish.
using automation tools,
Please
but I'm
create
not."
it.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
make an automation.
Yeah.
And now I use an automation tool. It doesn't tell me I use it. It doesn't block me anymore, which is like, why? With automation tools, you can actually control how many messages you're
Yeah.
sending, right? Maximum like 100 per day or something.
Nice.
But still, like checking also I used to have to connect with the person, or like if they haven't connected with me, connect with them, then check if they connected with me,
Oh
then
my
send
God.
them a message. It was like, oh my gosh, it was a
That
full-time
was a
job of
full-time
just
job.
sending. Yeah, sending DMs, and I felt very overqualified for this job.
Yes, definitely you were. But do you think that now they are still alive, the lead magnets on LinkedIn?
Yes, yes. Yesterday I posted a new one, a test I haven't done before. Instead of sharing a free resource, I just said I am giving away free LinkedIn audits,
Oh,
and people can just comment the word audit, and then they will be like added to this pool of people I'll select 3 people from. And it got, I think, 800 actually. So
Oh my God.
yeah. So I never done it before, and I only chose 3 people now, like to do the audit for, and the rest I'll share the paid offer. So
Yeah.
it feels very
Perfect.
natural, and it's valuable, and like, small price to
Yeah.
pay to be selected for a free audit.
And you are
Right.
creating sales funnels as well. Like now you have a pool of people you can reach to. It's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah. Nice. Because
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Instagram, I feel it's a little bit dead, all the lead magnets.
Really?
I feel
Really?
like I have this feeling of everyone posting lead magnets, and now it's a little bit more quiet.
Oh,
But I think on
yeah.
LinkedIn, there is a great opportunity. I only knew
Yeah.
ManyChat, and there is another one I'm trying right now, which the name is Slay, S-O, or something like that. Nobody knows it.
Yeah.
There is no like blog post, no YouTube video,
Yeah.
nothing. And I'm
Oh,
trying it right now
really?
just to see how it works.
Yeah. Also, LinkedIn is a bit behind Instagram, so I think everything that's
Yeah.
happening on Instagram probably is gonna come eventually to LinkedIn.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
now is the time to post lead magnets for sure. And I don't think they will go away anytime soon. So people have time
Nice.
to create good ones. But yeah, lead magnets are great. I think the growing accounts, reaching the right people, providing value, collecting emails, like growing email list is very important, of course, if you want to have a second channel
Yeah.
together with
Like
LinkedIn.
newsletter or whatever. Yeah.
Newsletter, yeah.
You can also have the newsletter inside of LinkedIn, right? I've seen many.
Yeah, but I don't really do that. And I don't think I recommend
I
it
don't
just
read them.
because, yeah, I don't read them. And also, if you have your own tool, you can set up welcome sequences. You can more control and design. You can control. You own this list. I think on
Yeah.
LinkedIn newsletter, I'm not sure if you even own the
Mm.
emails. I actually am not sure. I need to check
Yeah,
that.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense. I'm gonna check the tool now. Yeah, I think this is all really valuable, and I think we discussed so many topics. I don't know if there is anything I missed. And your services, I would like
Yeah.
to know a little bit more about it. Like, do you also do one-on-ones? How do you
Mm.
help people? Do you have programs?
That's a good question because I am building a
Mm.
LinkedIn growth community, which is going to be like an affordable subscription, and you get access to all of my resources, video tutorials on LinkedIn, and Q&A section, and you can connect with other people, finding an accountability buddy for your LinkedIn journey as
Nice.
well. So I think that's what people need most, accountability, because that's the hardest part, motivating
Yeah.
yourself to post and do the work alone. Oh, it's it's really frustrating. So that's the idea with the LinkedIn growth community, and I'm planning to launch it in a week. Let's be optimistic. In a week or two, there's a wait list, so I'll share a link. Other than that, yeah, I do one-on-one consultations. I'm testing a few new offers because I've noticed my calendar is just too full of meetings, and I cannot
I feel
continue
you.
like that. I do offer retainer coaching, but it's more for like founders. It's more high end. So what I'm testing right now is like this offer of async profile audits. So if someone is stuck with their LinkedIn, they don't know how to improve their profile, why their content is not performing, I just take a look and I
Yeah.
record a Loom video telling what to do next and what to fix. And I think that's very valuable.
I'm gonna take your idea,
Oh
probably
yeah,
not for LinkedIn.
do it, do it, do it. I think that's because I think everyone is just already like annoyed with so many meetings. We're
Yeah.
on in calls all day, every day, and
Nobody
I
has
think,
time.
yeah, async offers are the way. I think because I can answer your questions in a Loom video. Do you need to
Yeah.
be on the call at the same time with me? So
Mm.
also that I'm testing that. I'm gonna do the free LinkedIn
Yeah.
audits, and then I'm gonna have the paid offer. And then another thing I'm testing is instead of doing consultation calls, which I do offer consultation calls,
Mm.
but they're more highly priced. I'm gonna offer the async, like you send me up to 5 questions and I
Mm.
reply in the video for your personalized, like custom situation. I take a look at your account and I reply what would be the best way to solve these questions for you. And again, it's
That's cool.
async, so it's a little video. Yeah.
Wow, nice ideas.
I think it's better than scheduling calls all the time.
I prefer
Yeah.
programs, like
Yeah.
group programs with
Group
many people at
programs.
the same time, or
Yeah.
Q&A sessions. I also have a community where
Hey.
everyone can post, and then I reply personally. I think it's
Yeah.
much better.
That's so nice. What platform do you use for your
I
community?
use School.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
planning to launch on
Okay,
School. I'd
nice.
love to hear from you how you like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's really flexible. I think for
Yeah,
communities is
nice.
the best option right now. At
Cool.
least the one that I found.
Yeah.
I checked
Yeah.
many. Yeah, School was the one for
Mhm.
communities, and I think it's
Yes.
not expensive at all.
Yeah.
You can start with $9, I think, a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can have different
Nice.
tiers for the pricing. Like if you offer, for example,
Mm-hmm.
I have one Q&A session every 2 weeks, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the basic, but I'm planning to have like two different tiers. If they want one
Mm.
more Q&A session or whatever, then
Okay,
it's
I
a higher
see.
price.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really
Nice.
flexible. You can also use it as a subscription, like they pay
Mm-hmm.
monthly or one time.
Okay.
So it's
Oh,
like, yeah, you
interesting.
can test, iterate.
Uh,
It's really nice.
Really nice. Yeah, I'm excited. I think, like as a solopreneur, of course, pricing is one of the hardest, like one of the biggest challenges,
At the
which is why
beginning,
I'm
yeah.
doing. Yeah, another thing I'm working on right now because I have a solopreneur community is I'm asking
Mhm.
myself how can I help solopreneurs. It's not like connected to LinkedIn right now, of course. Like with LinkedIn, I can
Yeah.
help, but I'm planning like a Q&A about pricing for
Mm.
solopreneurs with experts so that they can give some advice to all of us. So many things to figure out, especially if you're multi-passionate. Like you have
Yeah.
multiple income streams like sponsorship, affiliates, consultations,
Yeah.
community events. It's just like 20 things.
Yeah.
And
I'm
why
always
do I
asking
need?
my consultant, like, I
Yeah,
added this kind of stream.
yeah.
Like, okay.
He's like, no, not again.
Yeah, they know.
Does it belong to my business? Like, is it a
Yeah.
separate business? A babysitting? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, so many questions, but we're gonna figure it out. It's all worth it
Yeah, it is.
for living a life that we enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. And before we close, if someone feels that sharing online could open doors for them, and after all this chat with you, they are still hesitant, what would you tell them?
Mm. Well, I guess you can ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? If you're asking yourself, if you're telling yourself, okay, I publish something and it doesn't get any views or likes, um, no one saw the post. What are you worried about? Like, nobody cares. If the post gets a lot of likes and views, well, amazing. People like it. Like, be happy. Like, you're not posting anything that is probably so out of like crazy
Yeah.
thoughts that people will disagree with. I'm sure it's reasonable if you're a good person. Like, you're posting good content probably, and you have to practice at first. So it's gonna get easier. The more you post, the more reps you put in, the easier it gets, and the better, the more you improve, and the better the content will perform. Every successful creator has put in so much, like so many reps in. That's why it looks like it's easy, but it's not easy. It's just like they know what they're doing. They practiced a lot. All of the key successful YouTubers have been like vlogging since they're 14 years old. Like, so don't compare your journey to their journey. If
Yeah.
you're just starting out, you will get there. But also, like, what are the people you look up to? Do you look up to people who just say, why not? And they go for it and they start and they do. Those people are to be admired. Like, they're very like inspiring and they are following, they're building their dream life. Time will pass either way. If you start, if you don't start, the time will pass. And if you're thinking to yourself, I should be posting, but maybe next week. What I like to remember or remind myself is that nothing changes if nothing changes. If I don't post today, if I don't post tomorrow or the next day, nothing, my life is not going to change. It's going to be,
No.
I'm going to continue to have these thoughts
Yeah.
of, oh my gosh, I should post. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. Oh my God, I'm not putting myself out there. My life is not changing. I'm still in a job I don't like. But if I start, at least I'm moving in a direction. I've chosen a
Yeah.
direction and I'm committed to working towards my dream, which I think is much more important than thinking about what other people will think of you. And most people who you also another thing, you want to have people in your life who judge you.
No.
Why would you care if someone judges you? They're not a good person. Do you want to have them as a client? Do you want to have them as a friend? No. Then
No.
why do you care about what they think if you don't want to have them in your life? But
Yeah.
people who support you, people who will, cheer you on, those are the people who you should trust. Those are the people who you should care about. So just ignore all everyone else.
And when you build a community, when you start posting
Yeah.
online, what you don't think about, you always think about the bad part, like, oh no,
Yeah.
the cringe or whatever, but you never think that like, you are building a community with
Yes. Yes.
people that shares your
Yeah.
values. So it's
Yes.
like, yeah,
It's
whoever judges
amazing.
you, they will leave. And
Yeah. Let them leave.
yeah,
Let
And
them
it's
leave. It's
perfect.
not going to impact your life at all. Like if someone you don't like is going to leave, like it's going to make your life better.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. And yeah, just you attract people who are more like you, and you're going to love your life more if you put yourself out there and find those people, find those connections, find those friends, partners, yeah, your life is gonna be better. So just try it,
Yeah.
commit to
I
it
love
for a
it.
bit, and then see what happens. Yeah.
And I'm going to start using your templates as well. And I want to be more active on LinkedIn
Well,
because
of
I really want
course.
to grow it. So, yeah, thank you. You share
I'm
so
happy
much
to share.
value.
Thank
If
you.
there is anything else you want to share before we finish, I just want to say thank you because, yeah, you spent time with me today recording this. And I think for everyone listening, it's going to be really, really valuable. So thank you. We will leave all the links on the description. And if you want to share anything else, the mic is yours.
I think we've said a lot, but I really appreciate the invite and I love what you do. And I think you're also very inspiring. So thank you for
Oh,
having me and thank you for
thank
asking me
you.
such great questions. And I hope people put themselves more out there because we only have one life and we want to live it well and we want to live it and live our happy, best selves. So
Agree.
can you say that? Yeah, exactly. My last words don't even make sense, but yes, I'm doing it. I'm putting myself out there.
Love it. Thank you,
Yes.
Maria. It was really,
Thank you
really
so
nice.
much.
And see
Yeah.
you next time.